Ardes Johnson's here. Ardes Johnson is the CEO of NeoVolta. Their ticker symbol is NEOV. Long-term battery storage, energy storage is this man's game.
Let me tell you how popular Ardes Johnson is. I got calls from other networks wanting to have him come on the air.
Do you say no?
Yeah, he's not going to say no. I'm not going to let him say no because I love the fact that these guys are getting some attention. Ardes, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you guys. All that talk of food makes me think how I'm missing lunch today. So
yeah, for us. Sorry, and plus we're running late too, so that was a little jab for you.
Starving.
Hey, I want to talk about storage in terms of alternate energy, specifically solar, because the big rub forever was that you guys could create energy, but what if the sun isn't out? What are you going to do with all that excess energy? And for a while there, you could put it back on the grid, so to speak, and get a check back from the electric. But you guys have got a bigger solution than that, and we're seeing more adoption of it. Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, well, I would say that we're living in one of the most transformative times in modern history. We have a massive growth of energy consumption. Our grid is aging. The demand continues to rise, and resiliency is really becoming a key piece of it. So batteries and energy storage themselves are more like the glue that puts all energy on the table. Renewables for sure, it's a big piece of it and how we can continue to make it more normal of an energy consumption source. But the reality is we need energy storage for other reasons besides renewables.
Ardes, when you think about when the first computers came out, they filled giant rooms. You know, I think of the Whopper in war games, that giant computer. And now, look, they're tiny. It's a watch.
Yeah, exactly.
As the technology grows, are you seeing the storage, the physical storage unit, the capacity shrink?
Yeah, absolutely. And quite frankly, we're on the very beginning stages of the evolution of energy storage. If you think about it in terms of people would understand in terms of watches or cell phones, the capability that we have today for a cell phone is to power you throughout the day. We have the ability to power a cell phone for weeks. It just becomes a cost conversation that we have to have. And what's driving that cost down is the development and use of energy storage and other applications besides EVs, besides even small power electronics. Energy storage is really becoming a key part of all the mindset of utilities and energy generators.
Well, Ardes, isn't AI and I've heard that every time I use ChatGPT, the energy that's going into that is exponentially different. And so is all of our usage of AI and all this moving towards AI making it even more of a need for what you're doing?
Yeah, exactly. Because what you're talking about is more and more desire and need of consumption of energy.
Yeah.
And no matter what we put on the grid today, no matter what the source of energy that we create, you still have to get it from the generation source to the consumption point. And that's really where the problem lies, is transforming and moving that energy across power lines to the end user. We don't have enough time to catch up. And no doubt the money is going to be exponential. But even if we had the money, we don't really have the time to catch up with the demand that people are putting on the grid today.
What's interesting here is the fact that you're having this success, and it was a crowded space several years ago. Why do you think you guys are having so much success now? Because if you follow the news, I mean, even today, press release came out talking about your revenue of $7 million. It is 1,000% increase year over year. You guys are killing it. What do you attribute that to, other than my show?
No doubt. Well, you guys are definitely helping us out there, get the word out. But the truth of the matter is, it's the ability for us to go out and educate the masses, right? Just being able to tell our story, talk about what we do, offer a differentiated product, which is what we do, have a portfolio suite of growing products, not only for the residential, but also for the consumer, commercial and industrial segment. And ultimately, we'll be even growing into the utility segment. So the truth of the matter is it's not that we just are out there in the market space competing with a rising tide. We're actually capturing market share because we have differentiated product and a differentiated message to the consumer.
What's interesting here is that you didn't hear the word Rust Belt in this country until we saw economic policy over the last 12 years. We used to have manufacturing here, and it's a big deal. And part of it was because we were the highest taxed industrial nation in the world at 39%, and then we went down to 21%, and that helped repatriate some money. But you guys are bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. That's a big piece of this. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we currently do manufacturing assembly in San Diego, California, and our goal is to very much expand upon that. And a lot of the policies that have been put, the legislation that is out there, are allowing us to take advantage of that opportunity. And it doesn't, another thing that we need to talk about is really our relationship today with China. If you look about my industry with energy storage, 85 to 90% of all materials come out of China. And this administration and the previous administrations, to be honest, have had a willingness and a desire for us to decouple our dependence on China for that. And so we're taking advantage of that opportunity. We're looking at places to add scope of manufacturing and, been looking at factory locations and some other things too to see just how we jump in. And we don't want to jump in small. We're going to jump in really big, because I think taking a big swing right now is the best time historically ever to do that in terms of energy storage.
Ardes, in order to decouple the best, do we need a lot more deregulation in this country?
Yeah, I would say that the biggest crippling part of our industry today is not just regulation, but regulation in the sense of having regulation.
Regulation for regulation's sake.
Right, for regulation's sake. So I think that we need to make a concerted effort in not only at the federal level, but also at the state and local level to enable technologies to be deployed onto the grid and the market. And there's been a general historical fear when it comes to batteries and things such as fire hazards. But today's standards and today's policies really make us put in very safe products. Our products go through rigorous testing. They essentially take our product. We have some new products that are coming out right now that are getting tested, and they're essentially in a warehouse being set on fire today. And they have to pass certain standards once they've done that. And our products can do that. They're very strenuous in what they can withstand.
Hey, next time you're on with us, we got to talk about the sunset provisions, or the sundown clauses on all the tax benefits that happened with the consumers last time, which are resolving. Ardes, thanks, buddy. Can't wait to talk to you again next week.
Ardes Johnson, CEO, NeoVolta, ticker symbol NEOV.